Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting radio-exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
Looking to buy your first car or home? Understanding your FICO score is key to achieving your life goals. Knowing your FICO scores helps you apply for loans with confidence and avoid surprises. With MyFICO, you get access to your FICO score, credit reports, 24/7 monitoring, and alerts on the go. Take the mystery out of your score and get your FICO score for free today. Visit myfico.com/free. That's myfico.com/free and discover the score lenders use most.
It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Kyle.
And we have 2 years to find this person, right?
Right, to celebrate.
And then we need them to come to Philadelphia or Boston with us.
With us, okay.
Or meet us there so we can talk to them there.
Are we paying for their flights? We got 2 years to raise the funds.
No. The answer is no.
Okay.
Oh, boy, who you got me there? That's a good one.
And Steve.
Is it acceptable? Should I go back to growing it out? What do you recommend, Mr. Father?
Trimming a beard is only acceptable if you are the bearded woman at the circus. I think it looks like garbage.
Live on tape from APS 3 point whatever, it's the Steve and Kyle podcast.
Strong words from the Beard Father there.
The thing about the Beard Father is he doesn't mince words, and he's terrifying enough that you simply accept what he says.
Yeah, and he's very, very deliberate with his words.
Right. Listen, he considers everything he says before he says it, and then he definitely makes an impact.
Yeah.
It's funny, I had rewatched, over the past 6 months or a year, I had rewatched all of The Godfather, and a couple of years
Not familiar.
A real knockoff of The Beard Father.
Sounds like it.
A couple of years ago, I had rewatched all of The Sopranos, and now I got my wife, Katie, to watch those for the first time as well.
So she had never watched any?
And I don't think she knows the talking point of The Sopranos is its final episode.
Yeah.
And the ending. So
and she has no idea about that?
No, I don't think she knows what happens, why it was so controversial and still talked about to this day. And so I am simply waiting for her to get to that point so I can watch it with her.
So where is she?
She just started season 2.
Okay.
So there's a road ahead, but these are 8 to 13 episode seasons of an hour long episodes type of thing.
She'll be there in a month and a half, 2 months probably.
Right. And so I'm going to make sure that I watch that finale with her.
Yeah, you have to.
And observe and maybe record that reaction to when the ending is. And I'm trying, because I don't even know if she listens to this podcast. So I'm trying not to give any details about even that ending because I don't want her to know what's coming. So,
well, we did that.
This was years ago.
I think it was during COVID. We watched all of The Sopranos.
Yeah.
Annette had never seen any of it. I had seen it all, but it had been, at this point, 10, 15 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was so excited. Exactly the same thing as you. I was so excited for her to watch the final episode to see what her reaction would be at
that point,
the key point.
Yeah.
and she didn't really react.
Really?
And she's different when it comes to watching TV and watching movies, because I think a lot of people, you're constantly digging to find that, like, the inner, like the deeper meaning of the show or something.
Right.
I think she watches things much more surface level.
Just wants to watch it, to observe something, and hopefully be entertained, made to laugh, or made to feel something. Right?
And this is something she would absolutely say too. She says, like, I don't like the stuff where it's like, she said, I just watch it, but I don't think like, oh, what's this guy? Oh, that's right, he's the guy from that scene. And
so she had to have hated, and this is for a very niche, only small portion of people who've watched The Sopranos. She had to have hated pretty much all of season 6, where Tony is in It's a Dream thing. So, boy, and I understand that. I don't think it's a bad thing at all to watch TV on that level, simply because TV is meant to be, for lack of a better term, an escape.
Yeah,
right?
It's a disconnect.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because I didn't expect an in-depth Sopranos talk.
Look, we can do this.
I would do it
any day.
I'm reading.
Should we do a Sopranos rewatch podcast? I don't think anyone's done that.
Nobody's doing rewatch podcasts nowadays.
No.
I saw one that made me social media reel that made me smile ear to ear yesterday, and the caption on it was Matt and Julie reunited, and it was two of our favorite. I wouldn't say favorite actors.
Absolutely. Amy Teagarden
Amy Teagarden joined the Scott Porter and Zach Gilford rewatch podcast of Friday Night Lights.
Oh, love me some Amy Teagarden.
But you're right. I think two people who couldn't possibly physically and figuratively be further from The Sopranos doing a Sopranos podcast rewatch is the way to go.
Yes. I would watch Amy Teagarden do a Sopranos watch podcast.
Yeah, I'd watch it too.
Yeah, exactly. Who are you kidding? Don't try to act like you're better than me.
But I had a moment last week, and it's still sticking with me, Steve. I don't know if it's a show you watch, and we've talked about this a lot over the years. I had yet another media moment that made me, a 36-year-old man, cry. TV show. I believe it's one you watched. It's on a service you provide to me that I utilize.
Boy, I don't know. I feel like
it's insanely popular.
I feel like the password sharing is at an all-time high in our house. So I don't know if you're using. I know that you have one of ours, and I think we have one of yours, but I don't know which one.
I have your Hulu, and you have mine.
But who
nobody knows.
Who could know?
Could be anything. But I was watching. Katie and I watched The Bear.
Oh,
season 2.
We have. We just started The Bear.
Season 1?
Last week. I think that I feel like the one that we watched last night was the end of season 1.
Okay. I am still
emotional. Are you going to spoil this for me? Okay,
nope,
good.
Not going to do that. I thought you watched it. But no, I'm not going to spoil it.
No,
I am still emotionally damaged from season 2 of The Bear, a show about a restaurant in Chicago, a fictional restaurant in Chicago. Man, I'm bummed that I can't mention it to you.
Isn't it based on a true story,
supposedly, but I think you always have to take inspiration from somewhere,
right?
To make your own idea. So yes, it's probably based on some like a big form of different stories in restaurants, right? To make this new idea.
Show. Man, I like that show, and it's intense at times.
Yeah, season 1, episode 7, which is. Probably its most renowned episode in season 1, which was all done in one take, about the frantic day in the kitchen where the ordering machine got unplugged. That was all done in one take. It took him 4 or 5 takes, but it was done in one shot. And
wow, really?
Yes.
Because that's the one we just watched last night.
I'll never watch it again. I'm at the point now where episodes and movies like that, I will watch, feel them once. And the other feeling I can ascribe to that is Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler. I don't know if you watched that.
Yeah.
Where it is like a 90-minute twisted up ball of stress.
Yep.
And you're hoping against all hope that this is somehow diffused. It's not. It's just ramping it up to the next level, That's how I felt during that episode. I'll enjoy it, but I'm to the point now where I'm like, I can never watch that again.
Man.
The stress level and the anxiety are through the roof, just feeling those outbursts, feeling the stress of everybody else. Oh, man. I'm not the first person to say this, but if you have not watched or indulged in The Bear on Hulu, please make some time. They're very short episodes, very short seasons. That's the way TV is done now.
Yeah.
Please make time to do it.
Really good. Really good.
We have severely neglected to get to what we need to get to today.
What's that?
We got to get caught up, Steve. And I don't know how much we want to pull the curtain back.
Let's pull it all the way back.
About where we've been.
This is the first time that we've been recording in the same room in a month.
1 month. Yeah, it was
a bunch of episodes where we kind of doubled up. Some were pre-recorded. We recorded 2 episodes in one day numerous times. So we haven't actually sat here and recorded for nearly 1 calendar month.
Yeah.
Because I was going to Tennessee with the family for...
That's right. The big road trip.
Yeah, I mean, 10 days or something we were away from home, and then you were away.
And I was gone the following weekend, and you were gone the following weekend.
Camping trip, yeah.
And then, so we're finally back after, we had recorded way too many. It's kind of funny to think that in, 7 years of doing this, since the early 2016, we've never had what we had last month catch up to us.
Yeah.
We have had occasionals where it's, hey, you're in, whatever town for the radio show, so let's either record on a Thursday or we'll have to record on a Monday or whatever. But yeah, this last month was a bit out of the norm, to say the least.
A bit.
To the point where we had to really, really hone in and double up everywhere we could to get all these episodes out.
Yeah, the hardest part was we were recording them all kind of out of order, too.
Right.
So if continuity over the last month has been a little questionable, well, I'm not going to apologize.
Yeah, we both had to look at the notes and look at each other and say,
did we talk about...
What did we even talk about last week?
Did we talk about this in the episode that comes out next week?
Yeah.
That we haven't aired yet?
We have something on the notes that I don't even know if we have time for today or next week.
What's that?
The one right below,
This one?
Yes.
Oh.
Don't even have time.
Did you put that on there?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I had a question to ask you about a bit of a mini viral story. We'll maybe get to it next week. Next week we've got one thing on the docket. We'll try to squeeze in another piece of content for everybody.
Look, we already got the A bit.
I need to ask you, and I'm not asking for a full 10-day recap, obviously.
Okay.
Couldn't care less.
It can be summarized pretty quickly.
Your week to week and a quarter long trip to Tennessee. The first question I have to ask you, and I think I know the answer. We talked about it. Were you able to do Steve being home in one day, which was your pipe dream before leaving? Because it was a little bit different from when you left home to go to Tennessee. You weren't leaving early in the morning. You were leaving kind of early afternoon, just driving until you knew it was time to get dinner and hunker down. But on the way home,
we were leaving after I got out of work on a Friday. Yep. I think we pulled out at 1:30 or something. And our plan was to drive, I don't know, if we wanted to make it like 5-6 hours. Because that would have gotten us to about the time that would have been time for dinner, time for the kids to start getting ready for bed. So we drove, I think pretty much straight to Indianapolis.
Okay.
Got there probably around 5 o'clock or so. Kids were getting a little restless. So we thought, all right, well.
The fact that you made it all the way there.
Yeah.
Is without stopping is remarkable.
We may have stopped. There might have been a stop in there once. I don't know. Everything is just a blur. So Annette was on her phone and found a park in the area.
Perfect.
We found a Panera. So I dropped them off. Is something ringing?
I think it's
something.
your phone.
Oh yeah, my phone's ringing. So we stopped, got to the park. I said to Annette, I was like, hey, there's a Panera 2 blocks from here. Let's place an order. I'll run over, pick it up. Then we can eat at the park. The kids are playing, getting a bunch of energy out, and then we'll hop back in the car. So we did just that. We stopped in like the nicest area ever. It was this park.
Never been to Indianapolis.
I haven't stopped raving about this park for weeks.
Boy, I'm sure the coworkers are over the moon as you won't shut up about a park
Look,
5 hours away.
Next time you're thinking about going to Indianapolis, you let me know, and I'll tell you exactly what park you need to go to in Carmel, Indiana.
So again, you're talking to coworkers whose kids are all, for the most part, past what you would consider prime park age.
Yeah.
And you won't shut up about this park.
Won't shut up about it.
Not one that they could get to with a bike ride or anything.
No.
Again, 5 hours away.
It's a 3.5 to 4.
Sorry, 4 hours away.
So everything worked out well. We ate, had fun at the park, and then we decided, all right, let's drive another hour or two. And so we got back in the car, drove to. Now we didn't have any hotel planned for that night.
Right.
So as soon as we got back in the car, I said to Annette, like, we pulled up a map. I was like, well, why don't we try to make it to about Cincinnati?
Okay.
If we can get to Cincinnati, that's like another hour and a half, 2 hours.
Smart to pick a big area, a lot of options,
Yeah.
cheaper presumably.
Yeah. So that would leave us with about 3 hours to drive the next day.
Yeah.
To get to the house. So she starts calling some places or looking up places online, and we're not divas or anything, but like I'm looking for Holiday Inn Express or like
You're hoping to maybe avoid
the old dependables.
Yes, yeah. So in your mind, you're not looking for Cincinnati Bayside Motel.
Yeah, nothing with the word budget in it. Mm-hmm. It would be different if I was traveling on my own because I don't care. I'll sleep wherever.
And you just needed what? 2 beds.
2 beds and a crib,
Okay.
pack and play, because we didn't bring ours.
Okay.
Because the house that we were staying at
Had it all
provided one.
Got it.
So we Annette's she's calling and clicking around on her phone, and after a while she's like, everything's sold out. I was like, that's weird. Cincinnati on a Friday.
I'm already a little bit
Me too.
up in the air. I'm already a little bit my ears are more open now. I'm like, well, you want to take the wheel while I take the phone?
So finally she says, okay, got one. I think it was like a Fairfield Inn and Suites or something.
Fine. Sounds like a name.
Sounds like a name,
right?
indeed.
Right. I mean, it's probably a cousin of the Hamptons, right? The Hamptons and the Fairfields.
Look, it was right next to a Cracker Barrel.
Oh,
so we got breakfast built in.
They don't put those just anywhere.
So
I'll post it on the poll as well. Are the Fairfields and the Hamptons cousins? It's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Or did they have a rivalry much like that of the Capulets and the
Montagues
from the Romeo and Juliet?
Yeah. So Annette calls the place. They said, yep, we got our room. No problem. 2 beds. She said, look, we really need a crib, a pack and play, whatever. Do you have that? Yep. All right. Sounds good. So we drive the next hour and a half, 2 hours. We get there, and we walk into the lobby, and already we're like, oh, boy. It's, oh, boy. I guess the housekeeping staff has had the last few weeks off.
Oh, no.
It was just dirty. You're walking across the lobby, and there's just physical junk on the ground. Like nobody's vacuumed in a month or so.
But you're at this point,
everybody's out of the car. Kids are exhausted. We have suitcases and everything with us, and so we're checking in. Guy at the front desk couldn't have cared less about his job in any way.
Okay, just wants to get you your room key and go back to whatever he's watching.
Mm-hmm. So we check in, and I said to him, okay, we just need the crib. We don't have any cribs. Annette jumps in.
Annette called.
Yeah. Annette jumps in. She said, well, I called a couple hours ago, and the person I spoke to said that you had a crib. And he said, that was me. I said that we didn't have a crib. So now we're in that standoff of, yes, you did. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. No, I didn't. But I mean, it doesn't matter because if they don't have one, they don't have one.
Right? They can't make one.
It's not just gonna materialize. Big sigh, and I was just like, I'm tired. I've been up since 3:45 that morning. And I was like, we'll just make it work. Whatever. We'll figure it out.
Wow. I got to tell you, that to me, and I think in that scenario, I would be surprised at what it would take. Now, and I'm not saying Jersey Steve would accomplish a single item here. Obviously, if they don't have the crib, it is what it is. You're SOL in the crib at this hotel.
Yeah. I mean, I could go to Walmart and buy one.
Right. In my mind, I thought you would. I thought that would put you to the point where you'd be like, you know what? F it. We're leaving. Mm-hmm. And you'd be defiant and, probably one crying kid because they're hungry or have to go pee, whatever.
I wanted to be, but I knew that wouldn't work out well. I knew that I was that was going to be a losing battle no matter what. So we check into the room, or we go upstairs. Walking down the hallway, I mean, just stains everywhere in the carpet. Like there had been a leak for months. No one fixed it. I mean, it just disgusting. Ugh. Go into the hotel room. Everything just kind of feels like a little sticky and wet.
Yeah.
I mean, there's crumbs all over the bed. So somebody was obviously eating graham crackers for about an hour. And so they have a flip out couch. I flip the couch out. I get Evelyn ready for bed, put her down, read her a couple stories. I mean, at this point, we're like an hour and a half, 2 hours past bedtime. So everybody's just pissed. Get her to bed. And then it's time to figure out what to do with Nikki. So we have him up on the bed with us. So we kind of create a barrier so he would sleep in the middle of us. But since it's somewhere new for him, he's rolling all over the place and kicking and punching and screaming.
And at that age, anything out of the norm for a kid. You were probably, dancing with the devil a little bit on a pack and player crib that's not his already. But you don't have a choice.
Already would have been tough.
Yes.
So after the worst night of sleep, we get up the next day and we're like, all right, well, we're getting out of this dump. Hit the road. Got to Tennessee. Spent a week there. Do you want to hear about the ride home first?
Oh God.
I mean, I can tell you about that.
I mean, we have a million other things to get to.
It doesn't matter
because we have questions.
Well, here, let me give you a quick synopsis of the week. Okay. Vomit.
Oh no.
And shit. That's about it.
So back to Tennessee in 2024 then? Whole family get together?
A stomach bug hit the house.
Oh, no.
First or second night.
Let's do it. Let's play our favorite game. Let's point the finger.
Well, I mean, if we're going to point the finger...
Who brought it? Who are we blaming? And
it was our nephew Andrew. He was the first one that was sick.
Okay. So listen, Lisa and family.
So the next night, he got sick. No big deal. At this point, we're like, maybe he ate something bad. Because the first night we were there, we just ordered pizza and there's a bunch of snacks and everything. And he probably just ate a little bit too much.
Overate or ate, food not used to.
Yes. Yeah. So the second night, we're sitting there in the kitchen and I got Nicholas on my lap and he had just finished eating. And he coughed. And then he coughed again. And it was just an eruption of vomit. All down the front of me, down the front of him. And he did it 2 more times. And at that point, I was like, ooh, this might be a stomach bug here. And then he didn't have any solid waste in his diaper for about 10 days after that. Evelyn got sick at one point. I got sick at one point. Annette was sick. My sister was sick.
Could it go quick in terms of the way
12 to 24 hours.
Okay, but still, for a day at a time, for essentially everybody.
It was staggered, yeah.
Yeah,
so at least one person was down every day. The only day that worked out well was Wednesday. Everyone was feeling good. We went to Dollywood, had a great time. So fast forward to the day that we're leaving, Saturday morning. We wake up. We had to be out of the house by 10, I think. We thought, let's try and be on the road by 9. That'll be great.
I got to tell you, and in my mind, the negotiation of trying to be on the road by 9 for you is already like, let's get going.
9, huh? Why are we waiting so long?
Sure not 7? Did you mean 7?
So
did you misspell?
we left at about 8:30, I think, and we were the first ones to go. So we hit the road. It's about a 20-minute ride to get to the first major highway, and then we're on our way. We didn't even get to the highway. And Annette's like, "You smell something?" I said, "Yeah, I smell something." But at this point, I feel like I had been covered in barf and poop for the last week. So my senses are a little bit off. All right, let's pull over. Maybe change his diaper one more time, and then we'll be on the road. So Annette gets out, and she walks over to pull him out of his car seat. And she got to him before I did, and she just said, "Oh, no." I said, "Everything all right back there?" No.
Would you know the answer to that?
No.
She wouldn't say, "Oh, no," if everything was hunky-dory, right?
No, exactly.
But you're trying to be a supportive partner.
I'm just hoping against hope that she's going to say, "Oh, no, I dropped my phone."
Yeah. You could have staged a phone call right at that point and been like, "What's that? Hang on, honey.
Work's calling."
Yeah, you're not going to believe this. The radio satellite dish
fell out of the sky.
Yep, and it's on the ground.
Fell out of orbit.
We gotta go. I gotta take this.
She said, "It's bad," and I'm like, "All right, look, I'm no amateur when it comes to changing diapers and blowouts and everything. I feel like I've seen it all." Kyle, I had not seen it all.
Oh no! Now this is not your first kid. This is not your first month with your first kid or your second kid.
No,
your second kid is, excuse me if I'm wrong, 3 years old now.
I'm nearly 4 years in on this parenting journey. So, she's like, "I don't know what to do." So I take one look back there. He's still in his car seat, but it would be like if you had a really big bowl, all right? You filled it up with soup, and then you just dropped your baby into it and let them sit in the soup. It was poop up to his waist, and it just filled the bottom of the car seat like a basin.
So again, this was 10 minutes, 15 minutes away from the place you were just at.
We were not at the highway yet.
Let me ask you the important question here.
Yeah.
Was it before 9 a.m.?
It was before 9 a.m.
Hey, ahead of schedule.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, kind of, because we pulled over into a gas station. It took us 45 minutes.
Oh, my God.
To clean him up.
In my mind, so what I would do at that point, that far away from home, with that level, the clothes are going in the garbage.
Clothes, we didn't even hesitate. Right in the garbage.
Family heirlooms? See ya.
I went into the gas station. She's like, "Just go in and try and find anything." So I went in there. I bought garbage bags. I bought paper towels. I tried to find wipes. They didn't have wipes because we were at an all-time low with wipes, which is terrible timing.
So you're already dancing with the devil.
This is bad. So clothes removed, thrown out. I mean, an entire roll of paper towels thrown out. Lysol wipes. We had to basically take the car seat apart. She's like digging in there, just pulling out scoops of feces. It was by far the worst blowout that we've ever experienced. And that's both Evelyn and Nicholas. Hands down, neither of them has ever had one that was even remotely as bad. So 45 minutes later, we get everyone back into the car.
Okay, so now Steve's...
Now we're behind schedule.
You're watching.
We are so far behind schedule now. And the car absolutely stinks. I mean, it couldn't smell worse.
Right, and you can only do windows so much to ventilate what's going on in there, because at that point, Steve, it's in the fabric. And you know that every parent of a pet knows that. It's in the fabric.
Yeah.
It's now built into the car to the point where if you sell that car, you have to list...
You got to disclose it.
The Tennessee poop incident of 2023.
Yeah. I mean, it's only fair. So, back on the road. We're trucking. We get another hour or two, smell it again. Luckily, it wasn't nearly as bad. But he had I mean, for a week straight, it was just blowout after blowout after blowout. So we thought, all right, well, let's get back to about Indianapolis again. That'll leave us just a couple hours the next day. Get to the hotel. Annette had called. She had booked the hotel halfway through our vacation.
Okay. So I already knew we're getting this far this night. Okay.
Knew exactly where we were getting to.
So home in one day was not going to happen.
Not happening. She called 3 days in advance, said, look, we need a pack and play. We need a crib. And the guy that she spoke to was very nice. He said, look, they're first come, first serve, but I'm going to put a note on your reservation that you absolutely need it.
Very nice.
So we were confident. So get to the hotel, walk in. It's a nice hotel. We walked in and everything smells good. It's one of those newer hotels that has
it's like a Marriott, whatever.
There's like the breakfast bar nook off to the side, and everything was great. The woman at the front desk could not have been sweeter. She was just the nicest, like most welcoming, warm person in the world. Exactly what you want when you get to a hotel after a stressful drive. This is at about 4:00 in the afternoon. Get up to the room. No crib up there. No big deal. Annette calls down to the front desk. Hi, we had requested that we have a crib. So I'm only hearing Annette's side of the conversation. And she says, but I called.
Oh, no.
I called a few times to confirm this. And I called yesterday, and the guy said that he was going to put a note on the reservation. Okay. Thank you. So she hangs up the phone. I'm already standing up to pack up and hit the road.
Yeah, because listen, on the way down, you're on your way to vacation. You know what? It is what it is. You're not going to ruin the whole trip based on the misgivings of the first hotel you encounter.
Yeah.
But now you're on the way home.
I just want to get home.
And morale is at an all-time low.
Mm-hmm.
You've had nothing but both-end evacuations for the better part of a week.
Yeah.
And you're fed up.
Mm-hmm.
So you're, the shirt you just took out of the bag, you're, balling up in a fist and jamming it back in your bag, and you're saying, let's get out of here.
I said to her, by this point, it's probably about 4:30. I said to Annette, I said, pack everything up.
Yeah.
We're checking out. We're getting a refund. We were 10 minutes from Carmel, Indiana, so we knew that we had that park right on the corner.
You've got that beautiful park, and if you got to sleep under the stars.
I said to her, we'll stop at Panera again. We're going to get some food. We're going to go to that park. Let the kids get all their energy out.
It really seems like at this point you want to go to the park.
I really do.
The kid wants to go to the park.
I mean, they had some slides. These are slides I've never seen before. They're amazing. So I said to her, we're going to go get food, play at the park. We can play at the park for 2 hours. I don't care. It was a beautiful day. They have a splash pad. Let's just get these kids exhausted. Mm-hmm. And then we're getting in the car.
And you're going home.
And we're driving home. Oh, because from that park in Carmel, Indiana, it's a 3 hour and 30-minute drive. 3 hour and 38-minute drive. I'm sorry. So I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, it's 4:30 now. Pick up dinner, get to the park by 5:15, play at the park for, hour and a half, leave there at 7, home by 10:30. Kids are going to be absolutely exhausted, but we'll be home. And Annette was reluctantly, she was like, all right, let's do it. Because the idea was floated out there, I guess we could go buy another pack and play. No. And I was putting my foot down.
Yeah. Enough. Enough is enough.
Nope. We're not doing this. Tired of this. We're picking up our bags to walk out of the hotel room.
Door knock. Okay.
Knock on the door. Open it up. It's that lovely woman from the front desk. And she has a crib with her.
Oh, wow.
She said, I am so sorry. I went upstairs and I searched in the storage area and I found it. We haven't had these since before COVID.
So let me ask your emotions at that point.
Pissed.
Exactly, right? Because you had now mentally said, I'm in my own bed tonight.
Mentally, I'm thinking, look, first of all, I get to go to this park.
priorities. You get to spend 2 hours on these slides and this bitchin' splash pad, and then get home.
When I tell you about this park, I'm going to look up pictures of this park.
Yeah, I'm just Googling Carmel, Indiana Park, because obviously the way you describe it, it's no doubt the toast of the village.
Turns out Carmel, very, very high class area. I think it's called, I thought it was called Central Park.
Okay. I'll listen.
I know that we went in the west entrance. That's where you want to go. But look, if you're going to Central Park in Carmel, Indiana,
reach out to Steve for more.
You take that west entrance. That's going to get you to the splash pad.
Wow.
And the playground.
I got to tell you, boy,
can't say enough about this park. Beautiful park.
I'd argue we've reached the end of what we can say about the park.
We're planning our next vacation to the park.
Right, that's it. Kids,
we're staying in Carmel for a week.
Kids,
going to the park every day.
We've got a surprise for you. Oh, Dad, are we going to Disney? Better. We're driving to Carmel.
You remember the park? Yeah, that's right.
Remember that awesome splash pad? Huh? Do ya? Well, we're driving. Get in the car.
So, again, I'm at this point very disappointed.
Yeah, 'cause you want to be at that point.
Mentally, I was home.
Yep, and you told yourself now, less than 5 minutes ago, that I'm going to be in my own bed tonight, unpacking, start laundry, whatever it takes. A little bit of jump on tomorrow's things to do, and I get to sleep in my own bed tonight.
Getting home at 10 p.m., 11 p.m., as opposed to noon the next day.
Yeah,
that's half a day right there.
Man,
I'm a busy man. I got a loaded schedule.
I now have pictures pulled up of Central Park in Carmel, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Got prairie grass, a drinking fountain, a playground, trails, grills, a picnic shelter, restrooms, a bike rack.
Did you go in the west entrance, though?
I got to tell you, they do not have a 3D walkthrough. But I do see, listen, in the scheme of things,
it looks nice, right?
Very nice playground.
Very nice.
Very nice. A gigantic play structure.
It's enormous.
Yeah.
Kyle, when I tell you could spend 3 days there and not get on every piece of equipment.
That's 2.5 days too many.
And, it might be a bit of an exaggeration. But look, I can't speak highly enough about Central Park, the west entrance.
Of course.
In Carmel, Indiana.
If you go in the east entrance, you're walking through the scourge of the earth.
Yeah, you're absolute garbage. So we got the crib, reluctantly set that thing up, still had to go get dinner, still went to the park, because, of course, when you're in Carmel, maybe put that on the poll. When you're in Carmel, do you go to the park?
Yeah. That must be the only thing they do.
Went to the park, got back. And so at this point, it's 6, 7 o'clock, whatever. And then the real cleanup has to begin with the car seat, because at this point
you've done a side job on it, right?
It's State Park outhouse. Luckily, Annette took one for the team.
Wow!
Did the cleaning because.
Did you take a nap then? Or?
Well, she's like I feel like I owe you, because I was the one that got the brunt of the vomit and the feces throughout the week. I'd be holding Nicholas, he'd have a blowout, and then I'd realize, oh, it's all down my shirt too.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't realize when you have a kid that you need to get one of those, like what painters wear sometimes,
yeah.
Like those pullover, like throwaway apron
like a
type
smock
things.
Suit thing.
Yeah. You don't realize that those are now necessary, apparently.
Yeah. So we got to the hotel. She actually put the car seat in the shower at the hotel.
Good.
And scrubbed it with shampoo and conditioner.
Yep. Let that system, let the Carmel, Indiana water system drain away the poop water.
Exactly. Now, it was funny too, because the day that we left, it was like 20 minutes before we're walking out the door, Amazon shows up, or FedEx or whatever shows up with a new car seat. Got delivered to our house, because Nikki is just at the point where he outgrew the infant one, so we're up to the next stage. And I was going to try and put that brand new one in the car for the trip, and I'm so happy I didn't, because it would have been instantly ruined. I would have thrown it out on the side of the highway. So, yeah, we stayed the night there, got another terrible night's sleep, woke up the next morning, got some breakfast, hit the road, and we were home just before noon.
Just a mere 13 and a half hours before you, in your dream, would have been.
Yeah.
And you got that additional subpar night of sleep.
Concluding what was probably the worst vacation I've ever been on. And I say that and I feel bad because we did have a good time and I love being around my family and we had a great time at Dollywood. But yeah, I mean, at one point we went to Gatlinburg in Tennessee, which is like one of the most touristy areas in the world. Everything is owned by Ripley's, like believe it or not people.
Got it.
So we got there. Finally, everyone's feeling well. So all we want to do is just go. We're going to go there with my brother-in-law and the two kids. And we're just going to get some food and then walk through Gatlinburg, go into all the little touristy traps and maybe go into the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum and play some Ripley's miniature golf while eating a Ripley's Believe It or Not ice cream cone.
Yeah.
So,
really going to head out of town with your Ripley's Believe It or Not tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
And with a promise and a coupon to come back next time to the local Ripley's Believe It or Not.
So we wanted to sample some of the local fare, so we went into the Johnny Rockets that's right there on the strip. Obviously a local favorite. Ate our meal. Very good cheeseburgers there. As we're walking out, Evelyn starts projectile vomiting everywhere, all over this place. So yeah, we basically drove to Gatlinburg, ate a cheeseburger, she barfed it up, and then we drove home. And that was our trip. So
head back next year, or
I mean, I kind of feel like we should. I don't think we really gave or experienced everything that Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge.
I'd really like to, maybe not for our next episode, maybe in a couple weeks. I'd really like to get Brother Mike on the horn and see, because I'd like to pick his brain for a few minutes about his perspective of this whole vacation. And
he's
how
one of the only
down.
ones that didn't get sick. See. Him and Carla. I think they were the only
but
two.
Both their boys both.
Joey was definitely sick. Daniel, I don't think he threw up at all, but I think that he was like, for about half a day, he was feeling kind of cruddy.
I'd like to get his perspective on things. Because this was long planned, not cheap, extensive in terms of things that were going to be going on, and everything of the preparations. Obviously, you bought that tub for the top of the car,
which I am so pissed. I got so ripped off on that. So ripped off. I saw the exact same one for $40. I paid $200.
Now is where
but I felt good though. I got him down from $300.
Now is where we start making that money back with Steve and Kyle for rent. Very quickly before, because we have to get out.
Yeah, I apologize.
Nope. Listen, do we want to save? I only have one question for you about my vacation.
Let's hear it.
Let's get to it next week.
No.
Bit next week because we have to get out of here.
No, I want to hear it now.
Okay, as quickly as I can.
Yeah,
our vacation was a brief camping trip, 3 nights in northern Michigan.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. After what I went
awful,
through.
I'll never go again. Kidding. Totally kidding.
You have a good time?
Yeah, it was fine. And
a big cabin?
Yeah, cabin.
You don't do tent camping.
Not interested in the tent camping life. Okay. Would prefer a bed. Went great. I being able to watch Reed with his older cousins and essentially be with them as much as possible.
There's no better feeling as a parent than watching.
I was so happy
kid.
for him because he loves those boys so much.
Probably idolizes them
and would follow them anyway.
Yeah. Because of the ages, he is probably he'll do absolutely anything to play with them.
Yeah. Trip overall, fantastic. Took a half-day trip to Mackinac Island, which is, for anybody who hasn't been, if you're in Michigan or northern Michigan, it's worth the trip for a day or half a day to go visit. We got some fudge. So my question to you is, while we were there, over the years, Reed is, much like me and Katie, animal lover. Will want to pet, do anything to every animal that he runs into.
I got a lot of horses there on the island.
All horses. Right? We have told Reed, when he started, processing things with his little kid brain, hey,
probably real stupid still though.
Oh my God, it's incredible. To if you want to pet someone's animal when they see them walking by, whatever, you have to ask. Don't walk up to an animal and just pet or reach your hand out.
Some animals don't like that.
Don't do that. You have to ask. To his credit, every animal he sees, he asks first.
Okay, so he's asking everyone.
Yeah, and so we're on Mackinac Island, and this may be either normal, but I know I have a picture of Reed being able to do this last year, I think, petting a horse. Mm-hmm. So he's walking up to, and there's no joke, probably no less than 1,000 horses on that island.
Yeah,
and most of them are carriages or luggage carriers, but a lot of them they just sit on the side of the road. Reed would walk up, ask the person, whatever. What do you call them? Leading the horses, I guess, with the reins.
The horseback rider.
Can I pet your horses?
The jockey.
This year, for whatever reason, every one of them had a different excuse. So I think there may have been a directive, no more interaction. One, while they bite. One, they're a little riled up. One, they're getting ready to go. It was just always stuff. So to the point where he said, like, hey, I don't think we're going to be able to do it this time, instead of having him ask and get bummed out every time. But since I'd been there, dogs have essentially infiltrated that. People bring their dogs, and you know this. Everybody knows this. People bring their dogs everywhere now.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm okay with dogs. I still don't love that trend. I don't love it.
Yeah, I think you have to have a very, very particular kind of dog.
So I want to ask you something, because Reed pet a bunch of dogs in Mackinac Island. Totally fine. Love it. He sees dogs and he's, oh, look at the puppy and whatever. He sees one dog. I'm inside a shop or something, and Katie and Reed are on the sidewalk.
Right.
He sees
spending no doubt $87 on a rock.
Yeah. And Katie and Reed are out. There's a woman, I think 2 women and a small dog. One woman is, I think, in a wheelchair, Katie had said. Reed walks up and says, can I pet your dog? And lady said, no, he's a nipper, or he bites. Mm-hmm. So Reed's okay. And that's why he's wearing a vest that says, don't pet.
Wow.
To a 4-year-old.
Aggressive.
To the point where Katie didn't do anything.
She didn't take no S.
She said, well, he's 4 and he can't read. Right?
Yeah, I think...
So I hear about this after the fact.
Yeah.
And initially I'm like, oh, that's a bummer. But then, as it tends to do, festers.
Uh-huh.
And now I'm mad.
Oh, man. I love it.
I'm mad again.
Are you going Jersey Kyle?
No, this was way out.
You tracked the woman down?
Boy, I wish, because So here's
slash her wheelchair tires?
I will never get the satisfaction now from this. So I ask you for the help and the advice right now. I was trying to craft the best comeback that I could never deliver again. And here is what I have come up with. Yeah, what do you
got? Let's workshop this right here.
The one I have off the top of my head is, she says that to, again, a 4-year-old on a tourist island where you brought your dog. I say, well, he's 4 and can't read. You're an asshole. What's your excuse? That is what this is. The lawnmower, the shower, the every free time internal conversation I'd been having for how I would have responded had I had the opportunity. Do you have anything that you could contribute or that you would change out of that machination of words that I just threw out there that I would have, again, I'll never get the joy of delivering?
Do you remember, going off topic for a second here, do you remember there was that famous painting that, for whatever reason, somebody who claimed to be an artist thought that they could do a little restoration and touch up of it? I don't know, it was like a Picasso or something. You don't mess with a Picasso.
Sure. No, you don't.
You just, if it gets old and deteriorates, it's
you
a
slap
shame.
it in a frame if you can.
It's a shame.
And a case.
But certain things, i.e. the perfect response, who am I?
Oh.
Who am I to pull out my brush and say, no, you need a little more shading here. You need a tree in the background over there. No, I think the way that you wanted to handle that, even after the fact, chef's kiss.
It even saying it right now perturbs me a little bit that I'll never get to unleash that on this woman.
Yeah. Do you think...
Because now
we could track her down?
So you just want to search a wheelchair lady from Mackinac Island? You know what? Yeah, I do. And I'm going to email her that insult. And then block the sender.
Yeah.
So I get the last word no matter what, because obviously that's the main point in any argument.
Exactly.
Or any debate.
Speak last.
Is you get the last word. Thank you. Listen, I came to you, not hat in hand per se, but always looking for advice or addition.
I'm happy to help, especially when it comes to anything rage related.
Of course. I appreciate it.
Absolutely happy to help.
I appreciate it. I wish I was happier about it. I really do. Like me not getting to say that to somebody now. Yeah. Well, maybe down the road, whatever, some form of that.
Man, I feel bad for the next person that like mildly bumps into you at the grocery store or, maybe cuts you off or doesn't use a turn signal and you're just going to go insane.
Because now it's pent up, right?
Right. It was the wheelchair lady from Mackinac Island with the dog didn't get it. Yeah. So someone's getting it.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to whoever that may be gets the residuals. Because you're getting a little of A, but you're also getting that backflow because the pipe's been backed up now. Man. Well, I'm glad the trip was well for you. It went well for you, Steve.
It was great, boy. It was so much fun. Yeah, going there next year. You guys want to come next year? We'll get everyone in the same car. We decided no more trips that can't be done in one day.
Hey.
At least until,
6 years old.
Diapers are way in
in
the rear view.
Yeah. So you're limiting the outside of flying travel radius to essentially 6 to 8 hours.
So you figure 400 miles, 300 miles. Yeah.
Well, we'll get Brother Mike on in a couple weeks when we can, and I would like to get his perspective on the trip that went foul. Tennessee 2023.
It was a rough one. A rough one for the whole family, the whole gang.
And I do feel that makes me feel a little bit bad for your mother, who
she was sick.
But in general, I would anticipate in terms of excitement, she had to be top of the mountain simply because. How often, when your kids are that age, do you get the family?
All 3 kids and 6 grandkids.
It's rare. So I feel bad for your mother. Feel bad for the car seat.
Car seat for sale right now on Facebook Marketplace.
Freshly cleaned in a hotel shower.
No, we got home immediately. Pulled all the soft cover stuff, threw that in the wash. I think we washed it 2 or 3 times. I cleaned the base with a power washer. Overkill.
For sale now.
Sure.
Yeah, your local Facebook Marketplace.
That's right.
Buy it now, and you'll get a free stump of old tree thrown in. If I know your giveaways.
All right, at Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'll talk to you next week. Oh, boy. Big guest next week.
Big week next week. A lot to cover next week. I got questions. You've got answers. We got a guest next week as well.
All right. Talk to you next week. See ya.
Ready to start spending smarter? Klarna is your everyday spending partner, helping you to shop with flexibility and earn while you do it. With a Klarna card, cashback offers, and a built-in compare tool, you can save time and money. Pay in 4 interest-free payments or in full. It's up to you. Flexible payments, smart features, and seamless checkout all in one place. Look for Klarna at checkout or learn more at Klarna.com. California resident loans made or arranged pursuant to a California finance law license. NMLS number 1353190. Klarna balance account required. Klarna may get a commission. Limitations, terms, and conditions apply.
What makes for a great vacation? Depends on who you ask. Are you looking to get away or bring everyone together? Do you want to get outside and play or see a play at the plate? Fortunately, however you operate, I'm the destination you've been looking for. The name's Missouri, but you can call me Mo. And I have just one question. What's your MO? Come see me at visitmo.com.
Marketing is hard. But I'll tell you a little secret. It doesn't have to be. Let me point something out. You're listening to a podcast right now, and it's great. You love the host. You seek it out and download it. You listen to it while driving, working out, cooking, even going to the bathroom. Podcasts are a pretty close companion. And this is a podcast ad. Did I get your attention? You can reach great listeners like yourself with podcast advertising from Libsyn Ads. Choose from hundreds of top podcasts offering host endorsements, or run a pre-produced ad like this one across thousands of shows to reach your target audience and their favorite podcasts with Libsyn Ads. Go to libsynads.com, that's Libsyn, ads.com today.